Whew, it's brisk out there. I had this. Oh, hi. Hi, my channel mammals. Good to see you. This has turned into another day. It just seemed to take me some time because of other things coming along. But I had this outside on the transom to stay cool because the butter needs to stay cool whilst you're making the pastry. There. That's probably about right. Let's get that out of the icebox and we'll take a look. Oh yeah. So I'll put some of the filling in. So here we are. I'll be sure I'll put some juice in with it. Can you see it okay? Yes, you can. Here. It's quite rich, isn't it? That's probably as much as you could handle in a pie like that. And I'll put a little extra of the juice just to be sure it has something to boil with. I think I showed you this before. So forgive my repetition, but that's what life's all about. Repetition, I guess, to get it right. There. And then peel it out like that. That's kind of the fun part. I guess I didn't roll it down hard enough. If you really roll it hard, most of these drop out. Maybe I can put it back on. Maybe I can. Let's see what happens. Well, I can't really, I don't know. Let's see. I might be making a royal mess of this. At least this part will work, I think, better. I've been doing this for years. You'd think I'd have it down. Yeah, see how most of those came out? Whereas the others were, I didn't put as much pressure on it. But we don't need this whole piece of pastry, so we'll just go to what we think we need. And then the rest will get cut off and reused. Now this pie trim, I didn't cut off as much as I want to, so I'm going to cut it off. After I put this lattice on, I'm going to cut it more. Okay, so I'll just slide this, I'll pick up this lattice. Usually I put this in the icebox. You see how it's not very stiff? I'm going to put it in the freezer actually. And then I'll do it in a minute. Because it has to be a little bit stiff. Okay, so that's what we'll do. Okay, so this one's been sitting out a little longer than I prefer because we've been talking. And I had to crawl out from my hiding place. But see, I'm taking two fingers and pushing it together and one in the middle. You see, like this. And it almost, rather than a ruffle or a scallop, it starts to look, when it's really finished, it starts to, and it doesn't look good yet. I'm just making the pattern right now. It looks more like an Elizabethan ruff, where it goes just as much inside as outside. Okay, now you'll see what I mean. Okay, so now, with your finger on these smaller pies, you pull that right out, and I'm bending it over the edge as much as I can. And I'm just really pulling it out. I mean, really pulling it out. And it looks very extreme, but when it's cooked, it looks very not extreme. So you have to understand to go to the extremities of the pattern first. This is just a little piece of basil. that got stuck in there. It's not a bug, it's basil. Okay, so I'm doing even more, as you can see. This one's not my favorite one because it's not exactly even, but that's okay. Then, if it's dry here, which it was with the earlier pies, I'm just going to do this just in case. Put the egg around here, just inside, not out on the tips. Okay, and if you need to dust your fingers, you can. Now I'm going to push this in hard. You see what I did? It's almost like an Elizabethan ruff, like Shakespeare's collars. And it's the only way. Now this egg wash actually is like glue. In fact, I used to use egg and glue. Now that dark color in the cooking, that comes from this juice coming out, which I don't like, but it's okay. It still looks pretty. Now I'm just making sure that these are as down as they can be and these are as out. Okay, this was given to us by Bob's wife, Emily. There's the lady sweeping up the broken things on the floor and all, and a little upset. And he's talking to the cat, commiserating with the cat. He says, if she didn't want me to eat the cupcakes, then why did she leave them in a closed container at the back of the counter with stuff in front of them? I love that cartoon. Isn't it great? Okay, I'll be right back. Well, these look good. Now these are ready for their egg wash and the Soviet sparkle sugar. They'll flatten out a little bit, but aren't they fun when they first come out? They look like they look like circus balloons. Okay, I just thought it would be good to add this little piece into the video so you could see. Now, what you see is dark there, I figured out what that is. That's the inside of the pie when it bubbles out. And I don't really like the way it looks, but see, this one doesn't have it. But it's very good. I mean, there's nothing about it that, as far as eating is concerned. And whoops, you don't want to get too much the egg. You want to make sure you spread it out really well. Otherwise it cooks as yellow. Okay, now whilst that's still wet, it dries quickly because I put the sugar. Oh, I put too much sugar. I don't usually do that much. Yikes. I never do this. I think it's because the camera is so close. You guys, your eyeballs are right on me. And so I can't really see what I'm doing. Anyway, don't run away. It's okay. So I'm going to put this back in because just a few minutes in the oven will glue the sugar onto the egg. Oh, there they are. They look just about right. Just about. Look at how this one puffed up. Let's take this one out first. Ouch. And because it looks the most advanced. Oh, it's so pretty. This one can stay a little bit longer. See how the pastry on top looks a little bit more raw. So this one's got a little bit of a rawness, but it'll taste delicious, of course. Okay, so this is still warm, and it's out of the pie tin. See, it looks dark, but it's really not. It's just gorgeous. And when it came out of the oven, unlike the original couple of tries, it was bubbling, and you could hear it boiling. And I could see that the fruit was actually commingling and becoming roasted and baked in there and cooked, if you will. See, here's an earlier one, which I've shown you, I think, but it shows you the difference. If you look down on this one, oh, it can't really tell, but each piece of fruit is a separate piece of fruit. It's not turning into really a pie consistency, if you will. I mean, it was very good, but it didn't have as much of any of the things we're talking about. It didn't have very many nuts. It had some, and it's just delicious. But it's more like a tart of some sort, or something like. And this is getting closer to being a pie, but still, it's stiff enough to ship to be a pie in the sky. So let's see. But we're getting better. Still, I added another bottle of, this little sparkling cider, and I added more lemon and lime. And look at, you see, there's a lot of liquid. Oh, and I added some more starch, but there's definitely more broth, or if you will, juice here than there was even when I did that pie. So I think the next ones are going to be even more juicy. Well, here we are. We get to see what it's going to taste like. So if we got close to the whole idea of the pie in the sky, can it really travel and fly? I'll tell you as I go, little things that you might not know about. I have a whole collection of beautiful handkerchiefs, and isn't it just beautiful? And they were always just sitting in my drawers. So I use them in the summertime for little tea parties like this. And they're perfect napkin. They do such a good job because they're the most beautiful cotton or linen, and they just do a beautiful job. Okay, so there's one little thing to tell you about to keep the suspense going. And then, oh, I just wanted to show you this little spoon. It's the only one I have like this. It's Lily of the Valley, I think. And doesn't this little pearl of Greek yogurt look beautiful in this little shell? It looks, I just put it in there and I thought, oh my goodness, it looks like a pearl. And this is actually a grapefruit spoon, but it's perfect for scooping up my little portion here. And then I thought, well, we might as well celebrate and have our sparkling cider from that we've been putting into into moisten the whatever we're coming up with here with our pies. So here we go. It's nice and sparkly and fun to sip. And I'll tell you some other thing. Wait a second, I think I have to use my coat to untwist it. Almost did it. There. And then oh, I should have shown you this glass before I poured this in here. See this beautiful glass? I wish you could see it better. And all of the carving is so sharp and so beautiful. You know, people talk about lead crystal. Well, this is silica. This is sand crystal made with sand. And the reason that they switched to lead is that lead is soft and it's easier to carve. So when you have this kind of crystal, it's harder to carve, and it's a sharper, more sparkly. I can't show it to you now because I've already poured. Can you see anything? You probably can't. Look at the bottom of it. It's a beautiful shape. And these were made in Czech Republic a long time ago, and they've stopped making them. I think I bought the last ones that they had there. So that's a really great treasure. Okay, are we ready? Oh, I hope it's just what we need. Oh, I do hope. I probably should have used it. Oh no, it's cutting beautifully. Oh, and I didn't show you this. Well, I'm going to take this off of here. This, you know, is our enamelware when we had MacKenzie-Childs. See? And then this was Evelyn Street. It was the saucer for Evelyn Street. And almost nobody has seen these. It's really wonderful. It's supposed to look like old wallpaper. See the cracks? I don't know if you can see them. See the cracks? And the cracks in the actual flower edge? See them? We made that happen on purpose. And I just love it. I think it's so beautiful. Everything that we have, we can sell too. Because I would much rather it was in your home than ours. Because we've been living with it since before it was way before it was born. And now I feel like it's really ready to go out to the world. So that's something that you can tell your friends about if you want. Okay, here comes. I'm cutting a piece of pie out of my tiny little pie here. Well, it's going to be hard because it takes up the whole dish. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll take this off of here and take the pie slice, as if I'm eating a real slice. It's more like a mouthful. Oh, I didn't cut it all the way through. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, I think we've hit our goal. I do. I really do. It's gooey, but it's not fluid. Oh, I just can't believe this. I'm almost positive it's the perfect, just what we want. And then here's the one, the first one that we made. And the difference is, well, this one's much darker, especially because it's a tiny slice taken out. So it doesn't really help to look at them side by side. This one's adorable, but all of it's not quite what I was looking for to be. Also a pie, a proper pie that has, you know, some sauce in it, but oh, it's just perfect.